So you want to take some pictures in GTA. You want to join this community on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, whatever, but you don't know how to. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything from beginning to end. I'll teach you how to edit them, how to take them, how the Rockstar Editor works, and we'll get you set up. Let's go. The first step you do is you start GTA. So while GTA is starting up, I'll just talk a little bit about myself for everyone who doesn't know me, everyone who's new to the channel. I'm Sean Paul, I'm DJ Sean P. You might know me from my videos, the videos of Logic Films. I'm most known for my videos, that's what I like to do most. But on the side, I also post a lot of GTA pictures on Instagram. On Instagram, I've been reposted by Rockstar Games a bunch of times. I've grown my Instagram in a year to over 22,000 followers, I think, and I've been really enjoying making pictures there. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to get to know new people. The community is pretty cool, and yeah, because everyone has been literally screaming at me to make a tutorial for years, I figured I'd give it a go now. This is my first time doing this. I'm not sure if everything is going to be good, if everything is going to be clear. If it's not, let me know, then I'll know for the next video, which will probably be how to make videos. If you're not subscribed yet, I highly suggest you to go check out the channel, go check out my Instagram to see what I'm talking about, and subscribe. All right, so what we're going to start off with first is going into GTA Online. This is whatever you want. You can do it in single player, you can do it with friends, it doesn't matter. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see that I do most of my pictures with my crew, the Logic Films crew. For this one, I'm just gonna start from scratch. I'll make a picture by myself and then I'll explain you how to do it. So we're on GTA right now.
Well, duh.
Get you a car or whatever you want to photograph. Get your subject. Also, I'm lucky now because as you can see, we still have some daylight left. A big thing for getting good pictures is having a lot of light. If you don't have a lot of light, your pictures, especially on the consoles, will easily go to basically. Find a good spot where you want to take your shot at. Okay, I'm just gonna take a pretty basic spot to take the picture at, so this tutorial doesn't end up being 30 minutes long. Go here, park it up however you want to. Also, make sure you don't scratch the car. Nobody likes scratch cars or damaged cars. Always make sure that they're clean. Twist the wheels. If you want to know how to do this, just press duck, handbrake, and press the gas fully first, and then halfway a little bit. Turn your wheels the opposite side of where you want them to go, and then just press triangle, get out. That way, shut up Lester. The wheels are turned. Anyways, next thing is, so the car's parked up there, it looks good. Make sure you're not, unless you want to, make sure you're not in the shot. So I'll be standing maybe around here. Now for the next trick, we're gonna use the Rockstar Editor for this. We're not gonna take a screenshot of this because it'll look horrible. To get this scene in the Rockstar Editor, including everything that's going on behind me, just everything, we need to record it. We need to record this whole scene. So what we'll do on the PlayStation, you press down and X. I guess on the Xbox it'll be down and A. On the PC, I think it's F3, F4, whatever. I'm pretty sure you can look it up. You press that, and then it will start recording. As you can see on the left side of the screen, it'll start recording. Now for a picture like this, I don't really need to record that long. So I'll press down again and X. You'll see that it's saving it. Clip 1, that's cool. On the consoles, you need to remember that wherever you are standing, there's this sort of, I don't know how to say it, this sort of dome of restriction around you, which restricts you from moving the camera to any location you want. You'll get what I mean later when we get in the Rockstar Editor. So what I usually do, take a few shots or few clips. Right here, I'll record a little bit more. Down and X again to save. Also, make sure you're not in first person mode. You'll not be able to change the camera, so don't do it in first person mode. Anyways, this is done. So we'll head out of online or wherever you are. Basically, just make sure you can get to single player because that's the only place from where you can get to the Rockstar Editor. And that's where we need to go. We took the shots, we saved the clips, and now we're gonna open them in the Rockstar Editor. All right, so we're in single player right now, story mode, whatever. Just press L1 or whatever button is on top here on the Xbox. I have the Xbox here, I just can't remember it. Anyway, just go to the last tab. As you can see from here, last tab should say Rockstar Editor. Mind you, this doesn't work on a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. So because we made a new clip, we're gonna start a new picture. We create a new project. We click on add clip because we want to add the clips that we just recorded. Over here you can see on the right that it's the clip that we just recorded. Over here you can see a bunch of other stuff I recorded. Anyways, we'll go and do the first clip first, then we just press X or OK or whatever. Press it again. You want to edit this clip, obviously. So what it's doing now, it's loading that whole scene again. It's loading everything that happened in the time that you pressed record. It's loading everything in here. So now we have the clip. It recorded everything that was happening at the time when I pressed record. So you'll have this on the left, this marker, it shows where the clip is gonna start. I guess if you're making pictures, it's not that important, but you can use the right analog stick to move your playhead. This is when I move this playhead with the right trigger, you can see I can move the scene forward and backward. It's just to change your timing. I press X to put a marker down when you wanted to put it down. And then you have all these presets, which are cute. My theory is that if you use a preset, you're using something that everyone can do. You definitely don't want to be doing anything that anyone else is doing. Use these presets if you want to take a lot of the same pictures in different times or whatever, then you can use it. But otherwise I would not suggest using it. Use the free camera because that way you can move the camera any way you want. With the preset, you're kind of locked to wherever you put it to. So if I go in here, edit the camera, you'll see that I can only move it forward and backwards. Roll the camera, can't really pan it or anything, but that's just what that is made for. So I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna go to over here. You don't really have to mess with all of this because we're not making a video, we're just taking a picture. So you go to edit camera, and this allows you to move the camera wherever you want it to be. As you can see at the bottom of the screen on the right side, it shows you all the controls for the camera. So left stick moves it forward and back, right stick rotates it, the height L1 R1, the zoom. I won't go too far with this because as you can see it distorts a lot. It kind of gives you that GoPro look. I don't know if that's what you're going for, then go for it. I hardly use it because it just distorts too much. Zooming in is just zooming in. You can use this to play with your background. So if I would want the background to be smaller, I would zoom out. If I would want it to be bigger, zoom in. I'm just gonna take a really basic picture. So let's say I want it like this. I'm done. I'm not gonna move the camera like this. I mean, you could, but I'm not gonna do it. This is really basic. So there's your shot. That's the shot you want. What I'll do now, if you're not happy with this, you can go a little bit further. This is a little bit more pro-ish, though it's still basic. You can mess around with the depth of field. Look behind the car. Look at the trees behind the car. You see, you get this, they call it bokeh or something. It's just the out of focus look. It puts the focus more on the car, on the front of the car than the rest of the background. With the depth of field, if you put it on automatic, it'll focus on whatever is in the middle of the screen. You see, if I aim it at the front of a car, it'll focus on that. If I aim it away, it'll focus on whatever is in front of the camera, whatever it's aiming at. The car, building, car, building. That's how that works. If you want more blur, obviously do that. You want less, you know, it's all up to preference. You may like it, others may not, it don't matter. Just as long as you do what you want, as long as you make what you think could give a spin to your pictures that would put your stamp on it, that would let people know like, hey, this is my stuff, this is my work. So that's the automatic. If you put it on manual, you can see it says 10.0 meters. It could be feet or yard or whatever on if you're from somewhere else. Look at the back of the car. You're gonna see this shift the closer I bring the focus. So now the focus is at the front of the car. If I turn this down, you will still be able to see a bit more of the car. This is just to focus a little bit more. This is if you have more subjects in your picture, you can choose to zone out that one subject you want. You can make stuff very, very blurry. What I usually do is I put it up to 100 and then decide where I want it to be. So I have to pick, kind of want it to be on the light, then I would tone it down. Maybe something like this. Effects. This is for filters. You know, the stuff that Instagram has, every photo app has it these days. These all kind of speak for themselves. If you want to lower the opacity of it or the effect of it, it kind of speaks for itself. Saturation, don't mess around with that too much. I usually don't, unless I have a really misty shot, so a shot with a lot of clouds and the colors are off, then I'll put it up. Otherwise I'll just leave it at 0, because this type of editing you really want to do in the program you use to edit with after the Rockstar Editor. These tools are good in here in the Rockstar Editor, but they're more refined when you do it yourself in a third-party editor like Lightroom or Snapseed or whatever, VSCO, just whatever you want. Contrast. I mean, I would suggest everyone basically to just mess around with these settings and see what you like. Don't make it too bright, obviously. What my goal usually is with most pictures is to make it as flat as possible. That means that the colors are not popping, the parts of the picture that are too bright are not extra super bright, that everything is just flat, just one clean spectrum of colors and light. So that's why I turned this down, so the blacks aren't really black, but I can make them black later. You'll still be able to see everything. Alright, so this is where my camera crapped out the other day. So this is now my second time recording this, or actually third time recording this. The other recording didn't go well at all, but we're gonna run through this really quick and let's get this going so we can be creative and stuff, make this all work. So with the first parts, what we'll do, we'll set another marker so we can take another picture. We just do that by moving the playhead around and then pressing X again or A, whatever works. And when you've done that, you can just basically repeat what you've done earlier. So you just only have to realize that whatever your settings were at the last marker, those are going to carry over to the next marker. So whatever your depth of field settings are, your brightness settings or saturation settings, they're all going to carry over to the next marker you put down. So remember that. So in this clip, you know, you'll see what I was talking about earlier about that dome of restriction, the part that stops you from putting the camera anywhere you want. So if you think about the dome, if this would be the character, there's a limit to how far you can put the camera away from your character. So imagine this dome. I'll draw something on the screen here. You cannot put the camera outside of the dome. It should be here or here or here, or too far away from your character, because it's just not possible. When it's not possible, when you've moved the camera too much, it'll say it on the screen and you'll see these red sort of bars, walls around your camera. That's how you know that you can't go any further. So, you know, in this case, it doesn't really matter. I took a second shot. The second shot was close to the car, so I could still take pictures of the back of the car. To make a long story even longer, as everyone knows, we play games. When we play games, this is what your screen looks like. It looks wide. So it's this side is longer, so it's more wide than it is long or high. So because of that, you take screenshots that way in GTA as well. Now, these days everyone consumes content on their phones. The only problem with that, considering what we're doing here, is that we take pictures this way, we watch pictures in this way on our phones. So what you'll end up with is basically a picture that is wide and you're missing filling out most of the screen. So what I usually do is, instead of taking the picture this way, I'll flip it, twist it to the side. I'll still be able to fill up most of the screen. So to cater to the world that we live in now and to people watching everything on their phones these days, we have to change this to this. The thing is also, it will be better to see my reflection all over the screen. I don't know if you want to see that, but that's how it is. Your car is gonna look about this small when you take a horizontal picture. So what do? We flip the camera, which use the D-pad to flip the camera or to roll the camera actually, and then just find out how you like it and just take the picture that way. The only thing you gotta remember is that the controls are different, so you just have to get used to it. It's not rocket science. Anyways, so there's your shot. That's the shot you want. Now, what you can do is you can press R3 or H on the computer or right analog stick, I don't know, on the Xbox. Just press that and it'll remove everything from the screen. Now you have a clean screen. Now you have something to take a screenshot of. So what I would do, which I can't do now. Yeah, so I can't show you it because I was recording obviously, but what I would do, take the share button on the PlayStation, then you get the screenshot, press X on it, and this is what I also explained on the video, but I'll just show real quick for you guys. Messages, then I just usually send it to my other account or some account, and that's where the video continues. But I would press the share button or whatever button you use. Anyways, on the Xbox you would just take the capture, take the screenshot. I suggest saving it on OneDrive, then downloading it on your phone from using the OneDrive app or whatever. On the PC, use Fraps, use whatever you want. And from there on, you'll have a file you can work with. As long as you have a file you can work with, you're good. From there on, you can upload it to Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, doesn't really matter. And I think that's it. I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope everything was clear. I know it's kind of a long video, so if you sat through this shit, give yourself a hand. It's my first video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, have a look around the channel. I'm pretty sure you like what we have, and subscribe. If you want to see more tutorials, or if you think I should have done something better, any suggestions, let me know down below. I will be checking the comments. If you have further questions, if you don't understand something, just let me know. Write a comment and I'll check it out. Alright? Now go be creative.